Into Star Trek Attack Wing Tuesday, we're doing an unboxing of the Mirror Universe faction kit. So I finally picked up all some faction kits. I will be doing an unboxing of these over the next few weeks. I've got the Mirror Universe, the Ferengi, and the Independent, so I'll be doing one for each. So first of all, let's talk about the ships. So what you get is 2 of the Kelvin class, Constitution class ships, and 2 of the Kelvin timeline, basically what is equivalent to a Katinga class. And the models are actually pretty good. I don't really have any complaints about them. There's a couple mold lines on the cells here of the Enterprise, but overall I think they look really good. So vast improvements here. So let's start with the Klingon cards. So let's talk about the Warbirds. So we got the IKS Amar and the KS Suvol. I think that's how you say it. The stats of these guys are 4-1-4-3. Let's see. This one is when the ship suffers damage once per game. If the ship is cloaked, the ship may be taken primary weapon attack. So if it's hit in the hull while it's cloaked, it can immediately make another attack. So that's pretty good. It's only once per game. This one is when attacking, if the ship is cloaked and not in the primary arc of the defending ship, it rolls +1 attack die, and the defending ship rolls 1-1 defense die. So this would be good for some sort of outflanking maneuvers. Maybe give it a lone wolf from the Alpha Hunter faction card pack. Give an extra another attack die, so +2 if it's not within range 2 and not within a firing arc of a ship. So it could be used very effectively that way. And of course, then we also have 2 generic versions, which is just -1 shield. And one thing I want to note about these Klingon ships is they have battle stations. They have target lock, battle stations, cloak, and Sincere Echo. No evade, but they have battle stations. That's huge for a Klingon fleet, having ships with actual battle stations. Said no evades though, it's kind of strange to have a ship without an evade, period. But I'm sure there's other ways to get evades on here, or there's lots of ways to get evade tokens, I should say, in general. But battle stations for Klingons, not so much. So that's really cool. So let's take a look at their movement dials. So pretty standard Klingon movement dial. So you got 6 greens, sharp 2s, reds are sharp, or sharp 3s are red, and the 3 come about. So pretty much the same as any other Klingon ship. So let's go here. What do we got in this package? So we got Kang. Planning phase of an opposing Federation ship. And this is the ship's primary firing arc. Increase the captain's skill as captain by 2. So at the beginning of the turn, if there's a Federation ship in his front arc, then he gets captain skill 8. Not too bad. Well, let's talk about these ships. So the Klingon ships have like this bullseye firing arc, or the secondary firing arc is a narrower front arc, so it has no rear arc. But this is the secondary arc on these guys. So if you have any secondary arc weapons only, they have to fire that way. Kor is the other captain, which is an amazing guy. So Kor is great. Pretty much every version of Kor in this game is really good. Setup: choose an opposing ship. When attacking the chosen ship, you may roll +1 attack die and convert 2 battle stations into hits. And when defending against the chosen ship, you roll +1 defense die and convert 2 battle stations to evades. Wow, that is some really nice quality. And he's skill 7. Give him Wharf to make him 10. The crew Wharf. And take out your opponent's most important ship as early as possible. So that is some really good abilities there. Integrated future technology. This is Mirror Universe only. Well, I should also know that all these guys are Mirror Universe and their faction, so all these are Klingon Mirror Universe dual faction. This one is Mirror Universe faction only, so there's no other faction on it. You do not pay a faction penalty when equipping a Romulan weapon, tech, Borg weapon, or Borg tech upgrade to the ship. Setup: place 1 tech upgrade with a burning cost 4 or less face down beneath this card. Planning phase: discard this card, flip the tech upgrade beneath this card face up, and equip it to the ship even if it exceeds the ship's restrictions. So I'm sure there's some tricks you can do this. Basically, only 4 or less for the tech isn't that great. This is a nice way to keep something hidden, though, and being able to say if you want to take some Borg upgrades, if you really wanted to, especially the one that absorbs damage, you can definitely do that. So 3 points, Mirror Universe. That's an okay card. Klingon patrol, end phase. The ship is not in the primary firing arc of an opposing ship within range. Flip this token, cloak token to the green side. So if it's fired and there's nothing in the primary firing arc of that ship, you can keep your cloak for free, basically for these 2 points. Klingon guard, here's a good one. Discard this card, place one evade token beside the ship. There's 2 of them. There's actually 2 of these in here, I do believe. So that's, I think it's 2 points for a discard to get an evade token is too great. Isn't that great? Should be 1 point. Cost setup, place 1 disable token on 1 crew upgrade equipped to each opposing ship. This is really nasty. If you're playing a big game and you got some important upgrades on there, and you combine it with Jennifer Sisko if you really wanted to so you can disable a bunch of stuff on your opponent's side and then play a fleet that just runs over as quickly as possible through like Inchas or transwarp drives or something like that, or Picard maneuver, some way to get into range quickly before your opponent has a chance to re-enable everything. Could definitely be a fun way to play the game and just really mess with whatever your opponent's doing. Overwhelm. When attacking, place 2 time tokens on this card this game round. For each other friendly ship that attacked the defending ship, the ship rolls +1 attack die and convert a blank to battle stations. So this is a way for a swarm. The problem is it's a unique card, so it's only one per fleet. So you're going to be the one with this is going to have a target on it first, so it's going to be straight first. You probably won't ever get to use it, and just like on a 3-ship game, it probably wouldn't be worth the 4 points. It's only a couple of extra dice, maybe, but. And of course, it has to be a Klingon captain on the Klingon ship. Oh, and this is Klingon only. It's not Mirror Universe. That's interesting. I like how they kind of mix up these factions a little bit. So yeah, it sounds good on first look, but it's probably not going to be that good in practice. Disruptor Volley. So this is for the Bird of Prey only. Disable this card when and attack the opposing ship. This attack deals no damage. If the attack hits, place an Ox token beside the defending ship. If the defending ship is an attack squadron, discard 1 attack squadron token for each uncancelled hit or crit. So it's another anti-attack squadron card. Klingon cloaking device. When defending, if the ship is cloaked, one convert 1 blank to an invade. That's pretty much worth the 2 points by itself. That's going to be each time. And in phase, place 3 time tokens on this card. Flip the ship's green token to the green side. So again, it's a way to keep your ship cloaked even if you shot, without having to use the advanced cloaking device, advanced cloaking card. I like this one, and it is one per ship, of course, too. Photon torpedoes. So attack value of this weapon is the ship's primary weapon value +1. Spin the target lock, place 3 time tokens, and target an opposing ship. If the defending ship has no active shields and is not cloaked, convert all battle stations to crits. 1 to 3. Oh, that is a 1 to 3 range card. That is really awesome. But this is secondary arc only. That's one thing to keep in mind. This is a secondary arc only. So this would be good for only for rear facing, and it's good for the bullseye arc on these new Klingon ships. So that has quite a bit of restriction on it. But it is because it is secondary arc only. But it's great for a rear firing weapon too on the older ships. 3 points, I'd take it. Klingon First Officer. Klingon ship only. Once per game, discard the captain equipped to this ship. Perform an attack with the ship's primary weapon. This card becomes the ship's captain with a captain skill of 4. So that's another way to get another attack. And that's during the in phase. So I'm not sure it's going to be 4 after shields go back up. That's a good question. Yeah, 4 points to get a secondary attack. So you have to discard your captain, but you're not with 1. You become 4 instead. So that's not a bad place to be. Is 4 captain skills, way better than 1 or 0. So those are the Klingon cards. Not too bad. But before we get into the Federation cards, let's talk about specialization cards. Specialization cards are 2-sided cards featuring the flip symbol. The card contains additional rules that pertain. During setup, you have to choose which side. If it is disabled, it remains disabled when flipped. Time tokens remain when flipped. If it has an elite talent upgrade when flipped, the talent remains equipped to it. Players can only earn fleet points for the SP cost that was paid during the fleet construction. When flipping, this specialization card remains equipped to the ship even when it exceeds the ship's restrictions. And you may not flip a specialization card to its captain or admiral side if it would cause you to have more than one captain on the ship or more than one admiral in your fleet. But the main thing is, it doesn't really say specifically, but you have to have an effect or something else to flip a card. You can't just flip them whenever you want. Let's talk about the ships. So the two ships you get are the Enterprise and the Enterprise A. Enterprise, flip one specialization card equipped to the ship and target one face up damage card and flip the damage card face down. This one is action. If the ship is one or more destroyed shields, flip one specialization card equipped to the ship and repair one shield. So, and the stats are pretty good. They are 4-1-6-4, so for 28 points. So they are pretty beefy cards, pretty beefy ships. That's a lot of hull for a Federation ship. So they're way beefier than even the Enterprise D. And they also have an amazing movement dial. So they do have a 6 up, but it's red, 5-4 up, 3 banks and straight, 6 greens again. All the banks, 1 and 2 banks and straights are green, and 2 sharp, but no 3 sharp. And it has a red 2 back. Very good movement dial, along with decent stats. And the generic versions are 24 points. So it's a 4-point discount for losing that shield and the ability. So let's go after the cards. So let's go with first Mr. Spock. Activation phase, place 3 time tokens on this card, increase the captain skill of the captain equipped to the ship by 2, and perform a free scan action. That's the crew card, and he does have an elite talent. And you can flip to this captain. You may add 1 battle stations. If there's a scan token beside the ship, you may add 1 hit instead. So this doesn't convert anything, it adds 1. So whatever your dice roll is, you just add 1 battle stations or add 1 hit. It's not too bad. Let's see. Portable transwarp beaming tech device. So, this is a mirror universe only. When a crew upgrade equipped to the ship would be discarded, discard this card and target a friendly ship. Instead, place 1 time token on the crew upgrade that would be discarded and equip it to the target ship, even if it exceeds its ship's restrictions. This is just a silly transwarp device that was in the movie. It was probably one of the worst pieces of worst bits of the original Star Trek movie was that transwarp beaming device, which single-handedly renders all of Starfleet completely irrelevant. But I digress. This I don't like about the one of the main things I don't like about the Abrams verse. So let's talk about Crew Kirk. Elite talent 3 times on. Let's see, 3 tokens on this card increase the captain's skill. The captain's skill by 2, and can perform battle stations as a free action. And the captain version is activation phase. Disable this card and remove 1 time token from all crew upgrades equipped to the ship. Skill 7. So it's basically a good complement to the crews that all take lots of time tokens. Full spread phasers. When attacking with the ship's primary weapon, the ship rolls +1 attack die, or the ship may perform an additional attack with its primary weapon from its secondary firing arc with -1 attack die, and it's for the Kelvin constitutions only. And they do have a rear firing arc with 4, so you can make a 5 dice primary weapon attack, or a 4 dice primary weapon attack and a 3 dice secondary weapon attack. That's not too bad. Advanced long range torpedo 2 to 3. The attack value of this is primary weapon value +1 for 3 points. Spin the ship's target lock. Place 2 time tokens. Target an opposing ship. This attack hits every other ship within range 1 of the defending ship suffers 1 damage. It's not going to be. That's not going to. They might get no extra damage on that every once in a while. Probably not enough to worry about. So Chekhov. Activation phase. Place 3 time tokens on this card. Remove 1 Ox token from besides the ship. It's not a bad ability because it's going to be at the beginning of the turn. So you'll still be able to do a normal maneuver or red maneuver if you need to if you use this ability. So not too bad. The other ability is place 3 time tokens on this card and target an opposing ship and remove 1 scan token from beside the target ship. Yeah, that's useless. Sulu. Crew Sulu. When this ship would suffer damage from an obstacle or a minefield, place 3 time tokens on this card and roll 3 defense dice. It cancels it normally. So this is a good way to It's another Federation way to avoid mine damage from cloaked mines. You can you can only do it once per round though, once every other round, because it's 3 time tokens. And Captain Sulu, skills 5. Action: perform a perform a 1 bank maneuver and place 1 evade token beside the ship. That's not a bad action. Get an extra movement and an evade token. That is not a bad action at all. Leonard McCoy. So this one is when a captain equips the ship will be disabled, place 3 time tokens on this card instead. So this pairs with Kirk. You can disable Kirk, remove the time tokens from your other cards, and put the time tokens on this one instead to prevent that. When a captain equipped the ship would be discarded, place 2 time tokens on this card, and the captain would be discarded instead. Oh, place 2 time tokens on this card, and the captain would be discarded instead. Okay. So it puts 2 time tokens on the captain instead of discarding it. So other ability is set up. Place 1 crew upgrade with a cost of 4 less face down. Activation case, flip this card. Flip the crew upgrade beneath this card face up and equip the ship even exceeds the ship's restrictions. Place 3 time tokens on that crew upgrade. So you can basically hide another hidden card here. Uhura. When this card is flipped face up or after the ship suffers critical damage, discard all face up communication failure damage cards besides the ship card. So that's for one of the specific crits. And activation phase: 30 time tokens on this card and target this ship or friendly ship. Increase the range of all upgrades equipped to the target ship by 1 this game round. So those abilities that were range 1 before are now range 2. Range of 2 abilities are now range 3, which could really mess with somebody if they're not ready for that. Pike. He's actually Captain skill 8 here. Add 1 crew upgrade to the ship's upgrade bar. Flip 2 specialization cards equipped to the ship for an action. And his Admiral ability is the same thing, fleet action. Plus 2 for 5 points. Flip 2 specialization cards. Hopefully they do more with specialization cards in the future. 1 more card. Planning phase. Place 3 time tokens on this card. Repair 1 shield and flip this card. This side is planning phase. Place 3 time tokens on this card. Repair 1 hull of the ship and flip this card. 3 points? Yeah, it's not too bad. It could definitely be useful over the course of a game. Flipping back and forth to repair them both. And it has a mission to lightning storm in space. So that is the Mirror Universe faction pack for Star Trek Attack Wing. As I said, next couple weeks I will be doing the other 2 faction packs as well. And thanks for watching.